Well, hey guys, here we are, LongHaul Larry, Big Blue. We're actually sitting here and still at ConAgra in Russellville, Arkansas. They decided they didn't want to, usually what you do is you check in and then you drop your trailer someplace and you park over here and they come and knock on your door or whatever. I guess they didn't decide to do that. I just went to sleep and they do that. Went to sleep and I woke up and looked at my clock and I'm like, might as well just complete an 8-hour break, and I just kept sleeping. I just went in there and checked, and they're like, "Oh no, that's been loaded. That was loaded like six and a half hours ago." And I'm like, "Aren't you gonna come out and tell us?" And they're like, "Well, it's your responsibility." So I said, "What? I'm supposed to just come in here every half an hour and every hour and bother you guys and check out the window and see if the load's right?" Well, it's a first shift lady. She just sometimes she just doesn't want to do it. Whatever. So, I guess we're all loaded up. We're going to get out here in a bit, as soon as I get this break completed here and everything. So I thought that I would go through comments and answer a few comments. Yeah, my phone's still messed up. What happens a lot is, what happens with it is I'll answer a comment, and then my comment pops up over the top of the next 3 comments. It covers them, and I can't see them. And so I have to skip every 3-4 comments, answer it, and then I have to close out the app, then go back in there, and then I can go through and do it again, and then it skips. Yeah, it's just too much. This works out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with doing it this way, actually. And that way everybody gets to hear the answers and stuff like that. More people than just the one person that asked it. So I just kind of randomly just snap, a screenshot of a comment and see, and then I just go through it. So let's start out. Emily Main here. Says, next time you do a video like this, wondering if you could answer what's your favorite state to drive through and why, and what's your least favorite state to drive through and why. That's kind of hard to answer. I really don't care where I'm driving through. Just scenery, I love mountains. I drove down to Oklahoma, down 69 the other day with the rolling hills and, all the mesquite trees and stuff. That was really pretty, and, anything like that is cool. I also like farmland. I mean, driving around, seeing what the crops are, and right now a lot of combining's going on, so you can see all that going on. Kind of the farmer in me, I guess. To tell you the truth, probably my favorite state is probably Tennessee. Running across 40 there, going across the Tennessee River, and that little stretch there, I just love that, going through there. I just love going through there. It's such a pretty area. My least favorite, hands down, it's Virginia. I just dread every time that I go back east. I dread driving up 81. I just cannot stand it. You probably think it would be like Chicago or New York or some kind of cities or something like that. That about. That was weird. And it's not. It's running up 81 through Virginia. It's, hills and then down. It's just constant hills and then down. And it's pretty, it's mountainous and stuff. But then the thing is that all these cars, there's so much traffic, and all these cars just run the left lane. And you come up and there's a car or a truck that's going slow, and you want to get over, but you can't. And then you're going up the hill, and then all these cars, they all come around you, and they get in front of you, and then you crest over the hill, and then they go slow. And you're trying to get down, and you're trying to gain speed so you can hit the next hill, and by the time you try to hit the hill, you're barely going, and then you're losing all your... It's a battle through there every time. That's why I hate going through there during the daytime. I try every time to go up 81 at night. And you don't get to see anything, and the scenery and stuff, but at least you can get through there without getting aggravated. So, to tell you the truth, yeah, that's my least favorite, is Virginia 81. I don't like it at all. Paul Trars. Yeah, I have a question. Why are you so cool? I thought it was funny. I don't know. I guess my parents are cool and it's genetic or something. I don't know. I don't know what to say with that. There you go. Let's see. Woodcutter, he's talking about when I backed up in my driveway. He says, looks like you've done that backing a few times. Yeah, I've done that thousands of times up that driveway. So I know that driveway pretty well. Let's see. Ron Hayes says, if you do another one of these question and answer things, did you mention the strangest place you've ever laid over for the weekend? That's pretty, I don't know why it pops in my head, but Connecticut. I stopped in Connecticut. I got shut down actually by DOT because of a receipt for a soda and some stuff bought 6 days earlier that was sitting on my dash. Yeah, truck drivers know, don't keep receipts out. You hide your receipts. But I got shut down and had to do a reset. And the whole time I was there was maybe only half a dozen. It was a small place. There was maybe half a dozen trucks there. That's it. And the whole time I was there, it was like on the hour, every hour, you get the knock on the door from some prostitute, a lot lizard, whatever you want to call them. It was constant, just non-stop. And it was a different girl every single time. And it's just like, go away. It was just so bad. It drove me nuts the whole time I was there. I don't know why that pops into my head, but that was just a weird place. He says he retired when fuel went beyond 99 cents. Well, that was a while ago. Leopold says this was a video of Plymouth, Wisconsin to Texas. He says he enjoyed the end of the video, the sunset. Yeah, that was a pretty sunset. I was actually thinking I should have titled it like Driving into the Sunset or something. It was a pretty sunset at the end of the video. I like that. Oh, here we go. Steve Wintermute. He says, if I pass you with my car, how much room should I give you before I back in the lane? A lot of these people, it's like 30 feet or so. They're right back over. It's crazy. I would say at a minimum 7,500 feet. I mean, is there really a reason why you have to come back over into the truck, into the truck's path? 9 times out of 10, there is nothing even behind the car. They just boop, come over. Oh, I'm past the truck. I'm coming over. What people don't realize is that car weighs a lot less, and it has strong brakes. And if an axle broke or a deer jumped, something crazy happens, and they got to stop all of a sudden, they could stop in like 40 feet. Where a truck is a lot heavier, and there's all kinds of formulas about this and everything else and stuff, and the weight and the kind of truck and the trailer and all this stuff, and the type of brakes and all this, but they say it's like 4 times as far. Sometimes I've heard it all 10 times as far. Every company you work for, there's different formula they use. But let's take 4 times. So if that car takes 40 feet to stop, to slam on his brake to stop, and they just pulled in front of me and I got 30 feet from me to that car, that's 70 feet. So I have 70 feet to be able to do a stop if I have the same exact reaction time. Now, if it takes me 4 times as longer, that's going to take me 160 feet to come to a stop. So what's going to happen is, because they're so impatient, just zip over and don't really even pay attention to what's going on, what's going to happen is if something happens to them, I'm going to plow right through them, and I'm probably going to cause somebody bodily injury, I'm going to kill somebody, whatever. And it's going to be my fault because I ran into the rear end of them. 9 times out of 10, it is. Once in a while you get away, something happens because this driver did stupid or somebody saw him do it, then you can get out of it. But most of the time they're going to blame it on the truck driver because rear end accident, your fault, falling too close. That's all they'll say. So I would say at a minimum 7,500 feet. Like that little beeping thing that's in John's truck, that thing there is like 280 to 300 feet is when it does that. I drove that same type of deal with JP Hunt, and that was what they said and stuff. And yeah, it's great to have all that flying distance. Sometimes you can't, but when I taught my daughters how to drive, I taught them this one thing about trucks: the safest place around a truck is behind a truck. If you need to pass for some reason, never drive alongside of a truck. You don't know what's going to happen. A tire could blow, something could happen. That driver maybe just got done driving 10 hours and maybe he's going to veer over a lane or get distracted or something, If you do 700 miles a day, yeah, once in a while you're going to cross a line. It's going to happen. So never drive next to a truck. And when you pass the truck and go. Don't sit here and go a half a mile an hour faster and then pull over 20, 30 feet in front of the truck. That's just stupidity. That's all it is. So that's the way I've always taught my daughters and everything else. You're gonna pass? Pass. Let's see. Brian Kush says you can't fix stupid. And he's talking about the video they did about John and the dollar thing. And he says, do livestock haulers have to use an ELD? And or not? Just wondering. I'm not really sure about that. I haven't really talked to a lot of livestock haulers since I've only been using the ELD since I started with JB Hunt. I've never seen one of these until just a couple years ago. I've always been paper log guy, and when I went to JB Hunt, they popped this in front of me. I went, ugh. I don't know. I know I've talked to older guys, and I know they get exceptions. You know, back when I was doing paper logs, I would talk to guys, and they'd have exceptions because they can't keep the animals all locked up for a 10-hour break or nothing like that in that trailer. So they actually would get to go over hours to get to someplace so they could offload the animals and everything. I would think that the ELD accommodates that. Maybe they can put it into a personal conveyance or something like that, line and keep going or something like that. Who knows? I do not know. Let's see. Oh, Sting Guy Steve Wintermute. He says, did JB Hunt refine your backing skills? Look like both you and John could back in your sleep. Well, sometimes we do back up in our sleep. No, actually not. I grew up on a farm. I don't want to sound conceited, but I can back up pretty good. I grew up on a farm back in wagons all around. I can do that pretty well. And then I went to a really good truck driving school. It was a really top-notch place. And I went to JB Hunt, went through the orientation. The last day they said, you know, Larry, and there was like 3 of us. They're like, you can go in that room, sign your stuff, you guys are good to go, and everybody else meet us in the parking lot for a driving test. And some people were like, well, why don't they have to go? And they're like, the guy was like, they got a lot of experience. And so that, I guess we didn't have to do it. So we didn't have to take any kind of tests like that, driving or backing test. When I was working there, I did go and do a back-in exercise once, and it was like hours, and I finally got up to it, and I asked the guy, I'm like, what do you want me to do, just back into that spot? And he goes, yeah. I'm like, all right. I zipped it around, backed it in. I mean, I don't know what was taking everybody so long. And I backed it in there, and I just looked at him, and went like this to him, and he went like that to me, and I pulled out and left. I mean, it was just weird. That's the only thing I've ever had to do. I don't know. Speed Demon says the sunset is amazing. Yeah, it was amazing. Oh, here we go. Art J. He says that Cedar Valley cheese on 67 has some of the best cheese I've ever found in Wisconsin. Stop there all the time, visiting his kids in Elkhart Lake, Fredonia. He always buys a bunch of it. I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you a tip. Google Gibbsville cheese. I'm actually thinking about if I get some time off or something, I may take a camera over there. It's a little tiny cheese place. They do everything by hand. It's in the town of Gibbsville, and they make cheese over there. And you go into their little shop, and there's like a window on there. You can sit right there and watch them. They have a vat that's right in front of the window, and they sit there and make the cheese all by hand. It's pretty cool, and they got some of the best cheese that I've ever had. I love their cheese over there. And not knocking Cedar Valley or nothing like that, but I'm just saying you should try Gibbsville. Gibbsville, I like Gibbsville a lot. Let's see how. I don't know what I highlighted there. Oh, have you ever been his Torii? Have you ever been placed out of service? If so, why? What's the pettiest thing you've ever heard of somebody being placed out of service? Well, out in Connecticut, I got out there. Yeah, I was put out of service. I got pulled over, and the rule with truckers is don't carry receipts, because the receipts with your logbook, if they, you know, the receipts have timestamps on them, and so, you know, you don't really want to carry the receipts. And he came up, and it was like a little Barney Fife guy. He was maybe 21 years old, and all gun-ho, and, you know, do you have any receipts? And I'm like, no. Sent them all off, and there was a little crumpled up piece of paper up on my dash. And he was like, "What's that?" And I was like, "I don't know." And I reached up and grabbed it and looked at it. And it was for some soda or something at a truck stop in New London, Wisconsin. And I was in Connecticut. And I'm like, "Oh, it's nothing trucking." And I threw it, and he's like, "Well, give me that." And I'm like, "It's nothing to a trucking." And I says, and he goes, "I'll be the judge of that." And I was like, "Whatever." And I gave it to him. He went back, came back, looking at my logbook. It was an hour and 15 difference from what I logged to what the timestamp was. And this guy was going off. He was going to have me towed, everything else. Finally, I just looked at the guy and said, "Do what you want to do." So I'm tired of arguing with you. I don't know why you want to yell and scream at me and everything else. If you want to give me a fine, if you want to have me towed, do what you're going to do. And he's like, "I'll give you an escort and you're going to be shut down." And I'm like, whatever. He was just such a little pain in the butt. It wasn't even funny. So yeah, I got shut down for that. The most petty thing, I'll tell you right now, was the day that I started here. John, you guys saw his videos. He was in a scale and he did a reset or whatever in a scale. He shut down for his sleep or whatever. That was actually, they shut him out for 10 hours. And he was supposed to be picking me up that night. And he got shut down. So I had to start an extra day later or whatever. The boss was actually going to have me jump on John's motorcycle. What is up with this? Falling. I guess my double-sided tape has come undone. He was going to have me jump on John's motorcycle and drive all the way over to La Crosse to take over driving the truck for John so they could run the loads and stuff. But they figured by the time I go get the motorcycle, drive all the way over, and it was just enough. But he got placed out, and the tire is questionable. Well, is the tire not good enough? Is it illegal? Is it past its limits? Well, no, but it's questionable. Okay, John's too nice. I would have been out in front of a DOT cop saying, it's either illegal or it's not. You can't just say, it's questionable, we're going to shut you down for 10. Something like that. That's just silly. I mean, I don't know what that was all about. Mike A says, "Yeah, Uncle Larry, you definitely opened a can of worms in that last video." Somebody referred I kicked a hornet's nest. Yep, there you go. That's what I did. Paul Wassler says, this is about that accident that I videoed in Milwaukee. And Chris Henderson sent me a clip about that. Both people were okay. They had a lot of bodily injuries and stuff, but they made it through it. But it was pretty nasty. And he says that he was right there too and saw that, came through there. They actually shut the whole highway down and had Flight for Life right after I came through there. So, and he said, I live in Milwaukee and saw it after leaving Taco Bell right up the road from the scene. Well, you probably needed Flight for Life after eating Taco Bell yourself. Pete K, he says, he wants to know what kind of sunglass holders I have. They're just these little plastic things. They're little plastic cases. I got them at Fleet Farm. And I got 2 of them. They just snap open and just hold my sunglasses. And they just clip up there. And I got one for sunglasses and I got one for my reading glasses. Yeah, I'm old. I should have them on right now, actually. And then he says he looked at the train horns last Thursday and was wondering what the model I had. I have this is the electronic solenoid. And they are called United Pacific. And that's a name on it. It's United Pacific, and they're the 4-horn. So that's the one I have. But that's electric solenoids. People told me you should take that off. I took it off. Boy, that's quite the difference. Let's see here. Here's somebody else with Cummins. Let's see here. Graham Schradel says, "Hey Larry, nice horn. I have a question for you. I drive a panel truck. Does that make me a truck driver? Some people say I am not. Well, is it a truck? And you drive it. You're a truck driver. There you go." Yep. Trying to figure out why I recorded, why I screenshotted that one. Here we go. Chris Wallace. He says, find some cute girls and have a car wash. Having a car wash. There you go. All right. Find me some cute girls. We'll take care of that. Ken Rosser says you need to do that horn as you pass trains. I am dying to find a train driving down the highway that comes up to a crossroad and blows their horn. And when they blow their horn, I want to blow my horn. See if I can get them to blow back. You know, do that a few times. That'd be funny. Yeah, we're talking to each other. I'm waiting for it. Sean Lee Soy says, sure didn't leave your tire thumper at the Pilot or Flying J like John? I could have. I don't know. I haven't even looked for it, tell you the truth. Cody Schrenk. I don't know how well this is true, but I was told California is the one that started with the DF stuff and all that. Yeah. Now they got what eucalyptic trees or something like that are getting poisoned, and they found out it's from the DF or something. I don't know. I don't know. I've heard other countries are actually stopped using the DF because they found out it really doesn't improve fuel mileage or anything else or the emissions or something. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the DF. Gary Maxfield says, what is the camera mount on your windshield? It is a Joby. Joby. I found them at Best Buy. These ones here that's a suction cup with a main deal on it, main stem, and they move all around. I got a bunch of different ones. This one's got a clamp on it. It's got this thing where it moves around. Yeah, I'm going to have to do a new double tape, set of tape on this, I guess. I found that one at Best Buy, and when I took John's snowmobile and I had it in a window, and he was like, ooh, what's that? You know, anything to do with camera, John just drools. And I showed it to him, told him I got it at Best Buy, and then I went back, it was like a month later, 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, I went back there to get another one, and they were all gone. And I'm like, bruh. And they were like, yeah, somebody bought us out, we'll get some more. And the next time I saw John, he has like 4 of them all stuck on. I'm like, I know who bought them all out. So, they work pretty good. Anthony Griffo says, how often does the boss man allow for washes? I don't know. I just wash the truck when it gets dirty. I don't know of any company policies or nothing. I've never sat down and talked to them and said, what are the rules? I don't know. Never asked those questions. Here's Gord 235. A lot of people did this. Set the same comment. There's a whole bunch of people. It says 12 half hours would be 6 hours. LOL. A lot of people were coming at me about this. I mean, I've gotten comments. I'm still getting comments about that. There's 2 doors. 2 doors. That's what my math worked out to be. I don't know. All right. Here's another one. Let's see. Walter Harp says, you ever pull double trailers? I did once. I was trained on it, and because they wanted me to do it, and I did one load, and I never did it again. So, Leopold says, I wonder if there's an actual train horn they would use on a locomotive. I don't think so. I think it's some cheap little China horn that they sell for trucks, you know. Those train horns, they can be very expensive. The actual ones. David B says, my engine is dirty. Yeah, I know. The truck's dirty. Jerry R says, Larry, question, do they still put the odometer on the trailers, and how do they know the mileage on trailers if not? They don't really care about the mileage on trailers. Usually you do a service on a trailer, you do it, 6 months, year, whatever. The only thing really with the trailers is you need on the reefer units. There's a computer up there that keeps track of how many hours it runs. That you need to know, because you got to service the engine and everything. But those hub meters that they put on the wheels, basically those for like rental units that the rental trailers we do, because we have to pay per mile. Otherwise, you don't need to know how many miles the trailer has on it. So, there you go. Rusty says he's watching my old intermodal recordings, and when I did my walk around the truck, what is the purpose of the lever you pull out in the front of the tandem wheels? Thanks, and keep up the recordings. That is the tandem release pin, and it's so you can slide your tandems back and forth. These trailers, like the ones I haul now and everything, they have this little pull knob on them, and it's done by an air ram. The air ram, when you pull that deal, it expands a ram underneath. It's exact same as what that pin is that you pull out, except on the JB Hunt ones that were manual. Basically, anything older trailers, just, a lot of people still have those manual pins that you pull out and lock. They can be a pain in the butt sometimes. Sometimes you got to get somebody out there and be pulling on them while you're up there in the truck, jerking the truck back and forth to get the pins released. They can be a pain, but this new style with the air, you just pop the pin, get up in the truck, jiggle a little bit, pins pop, 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 and then you slide the tandems. So, that's what that was. Let's see, Steve Urbach says, would you please drive to the San Francisco Bay Area? We have not seen measurable rain in months. Yeah, I seem to be the one who tracks the rain, don't I? But no, I can't drive to San Francisco. They have a poster of me at the border. I cannot cross into California. It's against the law. So, just so you know. Let's see. KB. I'm joking about that, just so you know. I guess I have to be specific on when I say I'm joking. I have to say I'm joking. Otherwise people get upset. How do we know you're telling the truth? I don't know. KB says, he's talking about the logo. Thought you wanted something for your 3 daughters to be in the logo like you have on your orange truck at home. I'm thinking about something different with that. I've got some pretty good logos. I found one part that I'm going to use, and somebody sent me a really cool picture of a truck, and I see if I can somehow, I don't know, I'm thinking maybe I could try to figure it out, do some kind of photoshopping or something, and stick it in there and sticking some wording on it and kind of make my own logo or something. But there's some pretty good ones that come in there, but some of it's a little too busy. It's a lot of stuff on there. I just want something simpler, something to print on a shirt or a hat or, something like that. Some of the pictures got a little too much. Let's see. Peter Morrell says, okay, Larry, how do you cope with the time zones in the U.S.? Sometimes that can be an issue, especially if a shipper receiver is right on a time zone line. Then it's like, which side of the line are you on? But yeah, you have this phone, and this phone, it auto corrects the time zone and everything, so that's cool. So it takes care of that. I'm wondering if this receiving lady is coming out by me. Okay, here we go. You guys ready? Listen very carefully. Joando Balquir. I think I got that right. The only reason why I snapshotted that, snapped that picture of that one, is because I wanted to try to pronounce it. JUANEDUARDOBOLQUER. I think I got that right. He says, hello from Argentino. I like your videos. Well, hello, Argentino. Oh, really? Prohiri? Something for here? I can't pronounce this one. Prohiber Tyrannus. So there we go. Sometime while in Denton, you should visit and tour the Peterbilt plant. Should have saw that video. Yeah, it's right there where I unload, and I'd love to. I just never been there during the times when they're gonna be open. Let's see. People tell me, don't watch Big Blue. It's gonna rain. It's always gonna rain. I don't know what to do with that. Peter Morrell says, I want to see you, put the camera down so we can see you shifting. I know, a lot of people want to see that. I'll get that set up. DHMCC says, where is DEFT introduced into the fuel system? It's not. It's sprayed into, it's basically like a muffler. That's simple terms. It looks like a big muffler up underneath there. It's in the exhaust system. Just call it a muffler. It's got some stuff mounted on it, and it sprays it in there. It's supposed to just like eat up the soot and everything else, keep the truck from blowing up black smoke. I don't know. That's where from what I understand, if you put DEF into the fuel, it's supposed to like harm your engine big time. Which I don't know why. It's like 70% fuel, and I would think the water separator would separate it out, but I don't know. They say it's all going to wreck your engine. Scott Potel says, how's your blinker fluid? That's a little low. Let's see. Nicholas Pacina. There you go. Great job, Long Haul there with the video. Hey, do you come to West Texas? Pretty much Dallas-Fort Worth area is kind of where I go to. It seems to be. I go wherever he tells me to go. Appears that the used truck market very strong. Might consider selling your truck. From George Hender. I don't know. I'd have to fix it up first. I wouldn't sell it the way it is. I mean, I wouldn't sell something like that. Let's see. Glad you made it up for the rain. What now? Kithered Frog. Hey, you made it up before the rain. It's raining now. You started about 8:30. Also, the wife saw a video that I've seen many times where a truck keep hitting what looks to be a train bridge, and now insist I have to ask you: have you ever hit a bridge? No, I've never hit a bridge. I have never hit a stationary object. Never. I have had one accident. Yes, I have. Actually, I've had 2 accidents. Sorry. I should check my clutch switch. It's not that. The other guy that drives a truck just like this too, he said the same thing. And these things have no clutch brakes in them whatsoever. So, MOAB, mother of all bombs. That's what that stands for, huh? That's what Dana Pittman says. Oh, Stuart Simpson says, hey Larry, is it you that has won the lottery as nobody has claimed it yet? I wasn't in South Carolina. So if you're in South Carolina, you better check your tickets. So I guess they have one winner for the $1.6 billion. That's pretty cool. A lot of people were scared when I put my phone down by the pump, I guess. Yeah. That I put it in my back pocket when I was walking around out there. That's how I broke my phone. It was that day. I put it in my back pocket and I forgot it was in there, and I came in and I sat down in my truck, and it's got a crack right across it now. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Naveen Marshall says, why don't you get Big Blue a front guard? That will be next, I'm thinking. It's either going to be the bug guard, or it's not going to be one of those big bumpers. I don't need one of those. I don't hit poles. It's going to be a bug guard, or what else? A bug guard or CB. That'll be the next thing I do. Let's see. Somebody else says, when are you going to break the news that you won the lottery? Yeah, I didn't. Trust me, I didn't. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Big Bear Wheeler says, I just looked up what DEF is made of. 67.3 water. The rest is synthetic urine from mammals. Oh. Wow, expensive urine. LOL. You should have grabbed that gallon of pee from the truck stop. You would have been rich. So there you go. Now you got to do is get rid of all the pee jugs in the truck stops. Is just go pick them all up and sell them for DEF, huh? I don't know. That looks to be it. You got James Zimmerman says, man, I wish you would have went into that Peterbilt plant. Yeah. We're closed. Alright, well, we're going to get out of here, go find our trailer, and start making some miles. So I'll catch you guys later. I hope everyone out there is having themselves a great day, great night, as you're watching this here video. I just dropped my sunglasses. Oy. And if you are not, well, we certainly could change all that around and try it again tomorrow. So I'll catch you guys later. See ya.